Oh,
Kick.
yes, that reminds me. Wolf will begin taking sketches of everything.
Fair
Assuming Dried Lady lets him.
Keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times. No photography.
She's not here to tell Wolf not draw stuff.
She's right
Just
there.
Oh, hi, you're back. Hi, that's a very large animal that you have here in your company. Yes.
She's holding this very large conch shell, which, as she speaks into it, she now sounds intelligible.
Ah, wonderful. And Silas now steps forward and bows. It's a pleasure to actually be able to make your acquaintance.
Well, you're certainly more well-spoken than the others.
As I should be.
He's stuck
Alana
up noble
looks very
man.
offended.
He's stuck up noble man. He'd always talk like that. It's kind of annoying sometimes.
Ash will introduce himself in Elvish.
Why are you speaking that language?
Yes, why
More likely to know it than our,
I mean, she was able to understand Silas.
He was speaking common.
Yeah, she's using something to translate right now.
I guess Shelley thing let her speak and understand us.
Yes, it seems.
Okay.
This was a novelty item back when I was, well, younger. I suppose it's useful now, but before it was a toy.
How old are you? How long you been here?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Out of character, I know it's incredibly rude to ask such things. Epos literally is supposed to be doing interviews with these kind of creatures. He has to ask these kind of things.
I'm afraid I never kept a calendar.
It's okay.
Hold on, a temptation of asking, do you know what a calendar is?
Right. Why are we down here again?
Because Epos has dragged us down here.
Dragged is not a term.
Epos no drag
we were
anybody.
invited in.
Yes, I was talking to her. She was saying how others came and bumbled into things and kind of helped but kind of didn't help things, and I was mentioning you guys, and she said if you're on good behaviour you could come down and see.
It's very impressive, I'll say. Very impressive. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's another thing on that. Oh, hi. You're small.
It's another seeming little spritey thingy. It just kind of giggles at Erin as she turns around panicked.
What are these things?
I don't know, fairies or some such.
Oh, good. Nah, I've learned that dragons are real. No, fairies are real. That's great. Love
Of course
this day.
they are.
Oh, jeez, it's fast.
Well, you've also learned that witches are real.
Well, yes. Okay.
Seriously, your Silvermount sounds like the most boring place ever.
Oh, it certainly isn't. You're just busy doing other things. Okay, I'm gonna take the lead and say, strange plant lady, do you have a name? I don't think anyone's asked your name.
No, you've been very... Is this regular for you lot?
I'm
It is
sorry.
regular for them.
Alana just looks uncomfortable.
Is different situation. It's kind of normal for them.
I'm Elspeth.
And your son, he said his name was out of character. I didn't catch it. Epos is struggling.
This is my child, Graceby.
Graceby, yes. Hello. He waves at him.
They look very gender indeterminate. Presumably. Maybe a son. Who knows?
They generally don't have genders.
No,
Unless
it's
they
sort
want-
of defaulted.
Yeah.
This is the grove of intersectional feminism. What is gender? But
Ash fits in perfectly.
Ash is a native. But Elspeth looks to all of you. Before, there was... The ones who came into this grove before were a very short... She points at Silas, sort of like you, but stouter?
Short?
Dwarf.
Dwarves are much shorter than I am, but that would be likely from the sound
Wait.
of it. Beards,
How much
rough,
shorter was
gruff
how much
skin.
shorter was Francis to you? It wasn't him, was it?
Was in camp. Oh, how long ago did they come?
3 days ago.
Could have been out here then.
Also, Francis is pretty tall.
Can Ipos ask what did they do? You said they bungled onto things?
They came down here thinking this place a treasure trove, immediately started taking things. I would not mind as much if there was an introduction of sorts first, but as it stands, their actions brought attention here, as something I try to avoid with the wraiths above. When they came here to start harvesting, things got through. They are dealt with now, but it was a risk.
Ipos, sorry that happened. This place is very much treasure place, but not one to be looted like that. In good news, we managed to take care of thingy that was making the wraith thingies. The big sludgy thing.
She quirks an eyebrow.
Oh, here, I'll explain. There was a big, large mass of organic matter within the core of the city. They was feeding off the energies here, and it was consuming the life force of various things that would come across, and we have slain it. It no longer is consuming the heart of this floaty island thing.
Had to flush system thingy.
I would like to spend this moment to now present my picture of the sludge creature.
Goop King of the Wraiths is dead.
Yes, it has been cleansed of the system.
Oh, that's sorry, I would be more excited if it wasn't so. It's been a long time.
Yes, from what we found, it's been very, very, very long time. But think this thing making the black rain and the sludge things and the wraiths, and at least it should get better now for you.
Have you removed his children as well?
Sort of looks blankly and blinks.
There's the beast made of hands, and there's the hungry one.
Oh, was hand beastie thing in main city, sort of over that way? And he points towards like the level 3 city of death.
It flies. It's the thing that keeps his eyes on all of this kingdom.
Oh, the teachery people who teach us? I hate sentences like that, but Ipos would have said something like that. We saw one of them earlier today, fighting many hand thing. Don't know about other one.
The great hunger at the center of this place wasn't the worst of it. His children were by far more dangerous.
Oh, well, that's great news. I love that news.
Though she walks up to Aaron. You're still wearing the cloak, right?
Oh, yes.
She walks up to Aaron and kind of picks at the cloak. It appears you've gotten rid of one of them.
Which one would that be?
The hungry one.
Hungry
Oh
one.
yeah, the one that rolls around everywhere.
Oh, made of
Ah,
mushroom?
yes, that one.
Okay. So if we've killed the hungry one and the one that flies is being currently dealt with, is there more or
And Goop Mom's dead.
That should be all of them. Which means perhaps one day we may leave this place.
Well, if it helps you leave, you're also now on the ground, no longer flying.
Yes, had
It's
to.
a long way down though.
Yes, had to land island to get rid of big goop monster thing. Island no fly no more. He does look sad at that.
Island doesn't walk anymore. It's just standing.
I'm afraid what was it said then?
Aaron has kind of recoiled slightly at her picking at the cloak, stared at her very suspiciously, and now is busy looking the rest of her over to try to understand what's going on.
So it's made of wood. Whack.
Whack. It is whack. And Aaron is trying to comprehend it and is not being very subtle.
But she looks still just kind of sort of sad. I'm afraid even if I wanted to leave this place, I wouldn't get very far.
Why not?
What?
She points to this small tree. That's my
that's your tree.
yes.
Oh.
Alana's gonna look at Aaron and quickly explain that dryads basically have a tree that they are bound to, and they can't leave them. They literally cannot leave the tree.
Oh, so it's like a. Oh, I understand that. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is her home quite permanently.
Could
I
you?
wouldn't manage to make it off the island before and find somewhere safe before I perished.
We have little garden. You maybe find to that temporary to just to get to ground, then find new tree. It's a
How much
daft
plants-
idea. Epos knows it probably won't work, but he wants to help.
That's not quite what I was thinking, but we do have a jar that is full of plant. I don't know what you need. Normally, I can think of power sources, but you seem to just sort of sit on trees from what I've been told, so I don't know how power source of tree works.
Yes, I'm like a big chicken. I sit on the tree and it lays an egg.
I don't judge.
No, I'm as much as it sounds weird to say, this place is my home. If I have the chance to make things better above, I will.
Oh,
It
it's
may
fair
take
enough.
me my lifetime, but it is, I suppose, my duty now.
is understandable. Just as little warning advice thing. Now Island is landed and stationary. There may be more people coming to Island, more like first group adventure-y types. Might not stop to chat first. Just be careful.
Yeah, just
I've survived this long.
leave a sign outside that says this is a home. Please ask before entering.
Are the people of your land usually that courteous?
Usually.
Actually, yeah, I'd like to say usually.
When they're not, you are allowed to kick them out.
I was going to say murder, but yes.
Well, no, not. You don't have to murder them if they just go into your home unannounced.
You don't?
No.
trouble here if people come in and she murder them and word get out that she does, then she get branded as dangerous thing and more stronger things come to try and kill dangerous thing.
Or, you could just take the witch root and curse them with unbearable itchiness
Same
until they
problem.
leave.
You can do that?
Yes, I can do that.
Oh, jeez. Okay, noted.
Same problem though. Word get out,
Well,
bad thing.
It itching uncontrollably isn't the same as actually hurting someone. That's just trying to convince them to leave.
Oh, jeez, okay, hi. Aaron ducks.
is not as bad, but some people just not like her kind, and word get out her kind here, then they come and hurt her. Is not good.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. Gestures vaguely.
If it's what'll happen, it's what'll happen. I will just have to deal with the consequences.
On a more reasonable note, I would like to say that most people are fairly reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, kind of.
No, I'd like to say most people are reasonable.
Alana just scoffs at that.
Most people
They are.
reasonable to own kind.
Most people, if they know something is a house that is occupied, they will knock first before entering.
Or, considering we were only able to find this place because we were guided back, or because we followed a brownie back, maybe they just will
Brownie
not
has
be
name.
found. I do not know it. You haven't told me.
She said earlier, is Graceby.
Ah, is that the one?
Yes.
Yes, it is good to meet you. Either way, they will likely be fine if they just hide themselves here as they have already. After all, they've stayed hidden from wandering goop creatures, one of which flies. This is not a city. There's not going to be thousands of people moving about it.
No,
and even then, it is the size of a small countryside. it is unlikely for them to be found.
No, not saying, going to be people knocking on door every hour, every day. Just careful if some around.
I am certain they know how to care for themselves anyway.
Yes, I boss knows. It's just been a long time since people were around.
Looping this conversation back around to something that's a little bit more productive. Hi. The people who came through here said they may have revealed yourselves to the raids. I don't suppose that led to any continuing problems.
Sorry about that. She kind of wandered to sit down by the pool's edge. No, not so far, but where one follows, many tends to follow.
Can I take a gander where they came in from?
She points northward, where you can. She goes, as your friend came down in the tunnel, they also came down in a slightly larger tunnel.
I'm gonna go look at that. Okay. Aaron, riding on Rusty's gonna go over and take a gander at where she started.
Yeah, she's gonna follow.
Hippos thinks they may be thinking about closing Hull, so Wraiths not get in.
Not
Raids are
closing.
incorporeal.
Yes, Wraiths are incorporeal, but if that was the main issue, they could just literally go down through the floor and out any of these walls. They wouldn't need a tunnel. I'm just going to ask. Hippos wonders, how you keep hidden from Wraiths till now? They can go through walls and stuff. Hippos thought they would find you before other people come.
They can go through the walls, but they cannot stay there. They can only enter from one place next into another. To do so otherwise dilutes them.
Okay, so they need to know where they're going, can't just wander around aimlessly in ground.
She nods, otherwise they risk their own destruction. We've been lucky, I suppose. Most of them don't like to go near the old monastery.
Yes, was site of, well, Hippos wants to say worshipping your kind, but not quite. They gave offerings to Faye, I think, and what's her name? Like out of character, what's her name? Like Maeve, yes. Gave offerings to Maeve too. There, yes. We learn little bits, but not a great deal. Hard to learn when can't read writings here.
Yes, but I suppose if you have the time, I could tell you a story.
Hippos just sits down and stares at her. As far as he's concerned, he has all the time in the world, and yeah, all of this would be recorded. Like he's going to, with her permission and with the group's permission, he's going to take like 10 minutes out afterwards to do his own interview with her. Blah blah blah. Definite school stuff going on here.
Fair enough. But she starts. It wasn't always like this up here, thankfully. We weren't always beset by strange wraiths and abominations. Back in the day, I was not always this. When the Plague of Black Tears came, things fell apart. People were getting sick, they were falling, they were dying rapidly. I was once a priestess of Maeve, and when the plague hit, people flocked to our temple for support. But nothing we did worked.
Oh!
It was...
Oh, you are someone who was alive back then.
She nods.
Oh, wonderful. Can continue. My apologies.
That's all right.
He like old people. Winks.
Not everyone stayed. There were those who decided to abandon the island, and I was going to be one of them. When the plague got at its worst, the other followers of Maeve, I think they attempted a ritual. I didn't stick around to find out. I begged them to come flee with me, and on the last night, I came here and waited for them to come, and nobody did. At that point, I'm not being hard on myself when I say this, but I was a coward. I decided running was too scary. I didn't want to abandon my family, so I stayed here. And after a while, I found myself changing to this. The other animals, the Fae on the island, they found this place too, and for the past hundreds of years, we've been safe. And I guess free now. Which is a bit hard to imagine when I'm kind of stuck to a tree, but I guess I'll take it.
That's. I'm not there. Certainly interesting. Okay.
So you say you changed into that, so you're not originally Dryad?
No, I believe it was a blessing from Maeve herself. Perhaps the last way to go here, protect what lies here, what still remains.
Perhaps her way of protecting you. I don't think other Fae got like sludgied either.
Not that I'm aware of, no, they all fled here or fled the island. They had an easier time of it, most of them.
Then congratulations on your survival.
It would be less bittersweet if I wasn't the only one.
I mean, you're not alone. As you said, they're fae, they're
Hey.
animals, they're plants all around here. This place is rife with psychic energy.
Could possibly be others who got changed like you elsewhere on island.
I suppose, but they'd have a hard time of it. This grove has been in the priests used to come here to, well, have fun, she raises quotation marks. This was a safe place, a secret place.
Oh, do you know anything about the construct things, terminals stuff? We found one called IAP. You know anything about them?
Oh, there is one still running?
Yes, we put him in other construct things so he can move now. He back at camp.
Oh, good for him. The platforms were just assistants. They were there for, well, typically those in positions of power as just for administration. I suppose
yes.
if he's been stuck here for years, he's had it just as bad as I have.
Is he in one of those constructs that could go into walls now? If you like, we could let him know you here and you can catch up with old times. Bugs.
I don't think they knew each other.
Maybe, but he has info. She may be curious. Just offering.
I suppose if he wants to? I don't know. The platform... She tilts her head. The platforms were never really people, if you catch what I mean. They were just...
Yes, not quite normal peoples, but he... weird.
Yes, it seems over the years he has developed an actual psychic imprint. He has emotions. It's wonderful.
Order of Iron would blow a gasket. Things were...
It's good they are gone then.
That was a big worry over the years, is one of the platforms or the constructs somehow gaining sentience, and, well, when something lives a lot longer than you, a lot smarter, and has access to potentially unlimited resources, people get a bit paranoid.
Yes, we went to Big Vault Place in Underground City. Saw not many actual construct things inside Vault. Figured it was things like that.
Yes, the old aristocracy. Seems they are paranoid of their own people's creations, which is not how I want you to live, in my opinion.
There's always the worry that they'd turn on us.
Huh.
Which, while you are chatting, let's flash to Aaron and Ash. So you're gonna go check out the tunnel where the people came down?
Yep.
As you get it's fairly easy to spot, judging from the big black ooze that's like glistening on the wall. It doesn't appear to have been touched at all. You can also see
No.
muddy boot prints in the ground where the people have came in.
All right, so this is where they came in. I don't. Oh, there's a dead one and another one. How many did they kill here?
Eh.
All right. I want to try to figure out how many they killed just by looking around.
Give me an in check, I guess.
Oops.
Bad. Aaron guesses from the volume of goo, probably killed about 7 wraiths. You can see signs where they've been like hit with freezing magic and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, this is a good sign. They killed most of them. I would
Hey,
like it.
Aaron.
Yeah,
You wouldn't happen to have a chisel on you, would you?
of course I have a chisel. Why do you want it?
I want to carve a few things into the rocks. Might help a little bit.
Yeah, here. Aaron rummages around, looks for. Oh, that's a steel chisel, and that's a wood chisel. Here's a stone chisel.
Thank you. And Ash is going to proceed to start just like basically carving phrases and short prayers in Celestial in sort of circles and lines and patterns as a sort of ward against evil in a much more long-term sense.
So drawing on the back when you'd work for your family to draw words around the town.
Yep.
Give me a craft words check.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take 10.
Okay, what does that get you?
17.
It's been a while since Ash has done anything this long term. They think it'll work, probably.
Well, it'll work if the Dryad gives it power.
Ah, that sort of thing. You're creating a vessel rather than. Got
Yeah.
It's an interesting art project you're working on.
It's more than an art project.
I'll take your word for it.
Think of it as I'm making a door, one that the Dryad can choose to close.
Can't you just, cave in the room?
Well, that would be a permanent thing. That would be collapsing and making a wall.
She opened up the ceiling, the ground.
That was just dirt, not just straight up rock.
Is this rock? Oh, I suppose it is. All right. Well, I'm gonna go down the hallway.
All right.
I want to make sure that there's nothing obvious that they missed. People tend to be a little bit, short-sighted when it comes to these things.
All right. Prismality, would you go with her? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Aaron's gonna go down the hallway to make sure that try to figure out why they were actually able to follow them down here. If there was any remnants.
Hallway is being a bit generous. This is more, again, just a wider tunnel.
Okay.
It does lead up if Aaron wants to, I guess, shorble up there.
Yep.
As she goes up. Roll me a perception.
Sure.
You want Pris to roll one too?
Sure.
Damn.
Why am I blind? There we go.
This is why I took 10 earlier.
Fuck.
That's not your dice line.
No, it really isn't.
Thankfully, your bonus for finding hidden objects helps here. You find as you're shuffling up there's an arrow that's fell out of a quiver.
I'll pick it up.
It's an arrow. It doesn't appear to be. The fletching's like a strange purple. Other than that, there's nothing really identifying to it.
Aaron will look at the tip. Does it look like it bounced off a wall when missed someone?
It looks like whenever we've been like sliding down here, it's just kind of like went oop out of a quiver.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like they're actually leaving a bunch of stuff behind. They weren't very careful on the way down here. They might have left a trail.
Well, as you climb out, oh, this is why we came down here. And that they didn't really have much of a choice. It looks, as you come out, it's kind of more muddy in the area. It looks like someone's maybe slipped, fell down the hole, and the others have followed after them.
It's the bridge! They did a bridge!
Oh,
Mhm.
that's amusing.
Well, lest they ever slid down after more others went down carefully while everyone went down like a bowling ball.
That's amusing. So that's where the arrow came from? Right. The swamp. Is it a swamp up here? Or is it muddy? Just
It's just muddy.
okay. Alright. On the way back down, Erin will take another glance around and then sort of be kind of comfortable with what she found and come back. She'll actually roll stealth to try to figure out how easy it would be to find this pit, just to see if I was hiding this, how well is it hidden?
Okay.
Not great.
I mean, it's not as if it's obvious. You think a person just slipped down here by dumb bad luck / good luck.
Fair. Okay, well, I'm confident. I'm comfortable with that. I'm gonna go back down. Well, it's a case of, yeah, just sort of dumb luck that they stumbled into this place. Not sure how I feel about a place that you can just stumble into dumb luck wise and find something hidden and important, but it's nevertheless what happened. I don't suppose you have any opinion on this, Priz.
Not a lot.
Fair enough. I don't know. It feels it's gonna be strange having this place still exist when a bunch of explorers are gonna come around.
Mm,
I'm not entirely sure how I want to deal with this or how I should be dealing with any of this in any regard. Hi, Ash. Oh gosh! Burn. Never mind. I'm joking. Here, runes. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this place. I'm intrigued, but also, you know, it's great that it exists. I'm not sure how it's going to be dealt with in the future.
mm. Well, it likely will not be up to us to decide.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if we want to do anything to it.
Better question is, should we?
Probably not.
There you go.
Well, anyways, I'm. All right. I'm gonna go talk to the Dryad again. Okay. Aaron's gonna sauntering back to where the group.
You'll go back and you'll notice that Wolf has like a lot of sheets of paper out of his notebooks currently out in front of him. He's been seemingly going rather intensely into his kind of drawing and research and recording everything here.
Grisby is
Oh.
watching over Wolf's shoulder, enamored with your drawing.
Given Wolf is taking extra care of this, it's a beautifully lifelike drawing of many things in here. 26 for the Dryad, for example.
There's probably even a picture of Graceby.
There probably is. Maybe I'm right now. I'm currently drawing Grigsby.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
I don't suppose you really have any strong opinions about what's going on, do you? Aaron says as she walks past the Dryad who's being drawn.
Strong.
I mean, things are going to be different now. Well, obviously, I don't suppose you have anything that you need sort of dealt with before things start going wrong.
Well, you've sort of dealt with the biggest issue on the island. It's kind of my burden to carry now, isn't it?
Not if you don't really want it to be. It's not like anyone told you to.
And don't have to carry alone. Can have help.
I'm not staying.
Well,
I'm fairly certain by
temporary
burden.
help. Help when
Fairly
we're
certain by burden
around.
she means just living here.
Yeah, I can see how that could suck.
I have to be honest, being stuck to live in the place that is essentially your tomb for the rest of your life isn't big on my list of things I'd like.
Wolf is strong. We could probably just pick up your tree.
I know.
The tricky bit is keeping Tree alive.
That was a joke. I wasn't actually suggesting that. Why are you taking that seriously?
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Is it?
Sorry,
No.
over 900 years of having not much humor in me except from the fate, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes, that yeah. Their humor strange sometime.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've heard every joke they have to tell over 900 times.
Unfortunately.
Also, despite your sort of, well, stuckness here. As you said, you think this change was brought on by your goddess, so maybe she can help you with that. Or maybe she has plans in mind of what goes on after this. You know, that sort of thing.
Gods talk to people.
Hey,
Sometime.
Wolf.
I'm not
Did
deeply
you have-
religious, but they have.
Alana looks very awkward at that.
Priests at temple always said their god spoke to them.
Hey, Wolf. Don't you have a pot from this girl's guys? The one that like spills out plants everywhere?
One moment. I've got 2 pots.
Both of them actually full of plants.
It's true. as both the gardener jar and the Mavian pot get pulled out of Wolf's bag.
Elspeth brightens up a bit. Oh, that pot. Those were usually used during ceremonies or parades. We'd walk along and pour them out so that the kids could jump on the sphagnum and stuff like that. The other one, I don't know what that is. I've never seen it before.
Both full of plants.
Think either of these could help your situation?
Not terribly. One of them was, sort of a party trick sort of thing, and the other one, she walks over.
Bit small.
Is that a tiny garden in there?
Yes.
Yes, tiny, tiny garden.
It grows fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
Yeah, no, he's always pulling grapes out of there and eating them.
Points to the carrot currently being still chewed on by the.
Out of
Lovers.
curiosity, how much does Alana know about her goddess? Like, is there anything useful she might know?
Well, it's not a goddess you've ever heard about. It's just basically anything you know is anything you've discovered.
Okay.
It's a goddess from a floating island from several thousand years ago.
Well, actually, I can give Alana one tidbit with this. Although we are using like the Galorian pantheon for this, there are other gods about, but they tend to be a lot more minor in scale.
Yeah, at best you have things like what's his face, Abadar, and
Kinda.
things like that.
I believe the main
It's
one
much
that
more casual worship, though.
sort of like that. The ones that kind of aren't the Golarian ones will probably and they've made appearances in the flesh a lot more often than they have. The key one you'd know about is Aspects, god of artifice, community law and repose, who currently is kind of the vague leader of a wholly authoritarian country.
Hmm.
So
Not great.
So more
she's
sort of like just avatars wander around more often.
Kind of, yeah.
Well,
They're
avatars
gods,
in
but
that
like
they're very strong.
yeah. Like they call themselves gods, so presumably they are gods. They've certainly performed miracles and stuff like that.
I'm guessing she's kind of assuming Maeve falls in that general line.
Yeah,
Okay.
seems about right.
Right. I don't know how gods work, but do you think you'd need anything at your temple?
That's true, actually. If you could go there and clear it out, I suppose I could move there. The temple was one of the other locations where Maeve's power was concentrated. Plant life and such thrive there.
Okay, cool. I was more offering that you may have like left something there or something like that, but if you want to go there, I suppose.
Well, I may be a dryad. I may be a dryad, but I do also like living inside a house.
I'm surprised you haven't actually made yourself a house here down here.
I will say, her goddess Alana seems very confused. She's making sure she's correct here. Is more of a minor figure, so to speak, comparatively to like what you learn about growing up in our normal pantheon. And I feel as if we were to earn her favor in some form, it would help our friend here a lot more than normally would if you were to go out and try and appease one of the bigger gods, so to speak. So regardless, it probably would help in some form.
Well, I can say Maeve's attention is still somewhat on me, but I can feel she's distant.
Epos would
she
like
hasn't
to
had
at
a...
least take a look at what's there. See if it's possible to clean out.
To be fair, also, I understand minor gods taking a liking to you in some form. So you at least have someone who can sympathize with struggling, so to speak.
What's a better blessing, becoming a dryad or murder scarf?
All these gods with their weird loopholes and like their fucking
Agendas.
yeah. Go kill everything evil, no questions asked. Go merge to a tree and stay there.
You're a tree now.
I mean,
But
I'm just instantly reminded of the Apollo story where he chases after a girl and she literally prays to become a tree because she'd rather become a tree than have to deal with Apollo.
Wow. I mean, there's rejection, and then there's turning into a tree to avoid them.
Well, to be fair, Apollo went up to Cupid and was like, "Hey, stop playing with that bow. You're like 2." And Cupid goes, "I'll show you," and set him up for that.
sounds like you get shot.
I wanted to somehow draw a comparison to that here, but I couldn't do it because, not related, but my mythology nerd.
That's fair. She looks at the rest of you. The temple isn't too far away. I could probably join you.
Oh, what? Okay.
Do you know what was at Temple? What it like there? Like, what needs
I
cleaning out?
lived there. I do not know what would need cleaning out, but I imagine if it has been left without guidance for this long, it would be overgrown.
Oh, wonderful.
Which, Epos, can you roll me an int check?
I can certainly try.
It posts his best ability score.
I mean, it's kind of not my worst.
I mean, he's not dumb, it's just completely average.
Yeah.
Epos seems to remember something, but he can't quite put his finger on it. Something has happened in the past that might be relevant here.
Yeah, that's not narrowing it down at all.
I'm afraid you rolled an 8.
He
Where's
just
your notes at the back of the manual?
he just looks like he's really, really, really thinking hard for a moment, and then it's just no, can't remember. It gone.
I like the idea we just see you gradually thinking harder and harder and harder, not getting it.
Yeah, it's that thing where he sort of he slowly frowns deeper and deeper over a period of like 10 minutes before he just gives up on it.
His face just like retracts.
Mm-hmm.
Post.exe has stopped responding.
Why is he making that face?
Just that cogwheel spinning faster and faster, but it's not hooked up to any other cog, so it's just spinning by itself.
Yeah. If I remember something about Temple and Overgrown and stuff there, but I can't remember what was.
I mean, supposedly one of our friends went there.
Oh, yes, was that where they got Faye Dagger
Dagger thing?
thingy? Yes.
Ding ding ding.
Finally, the gears connected.
I'm glad I could help fix your cog.
It's what you're good at.
Yeah, we had a few friends go there, and they got like this weird dagger thing. I don't know if that rings any bells.
It seemed
Oh,
full
yeah,
of
it looked
Fae
like
energy.
it looked like a flower petal, but like a knife.
Yes.
That's nothing we would have kept there. Most of our, weapons were ceremonial. Scythes and such.
Oh, scythes? Aaron rummages around in
Scythes.
Rusty's backpack, and then pulls out the scythe that she found in a tower.
Oh. I thought I felt something weird.
Yeah, I've been working on fixing it. Haven't been having the greatest success. There's like this weird resident magic on it, and I haven't been able to like piece together the runes so it flares back to life. The energy's still there from what I could tell.
May I see it?
Yeah, here. Aaron
Is
holds it.
she?
He takes it, immediately crits Aaron with it.
Sit. Fuck you. No, she starts to turn it over in her hands. We had a few weapons like these. We were directly blessed by Maeve herself. Nothing terribly special, just they should self-repair. As she's talking, she's like folding the weapons with her hands, melding it back together again.
That looks spectacularly convenient.
It's
Very
one of the
interesting.
benefits of my new form.
Well, yeah, I was gonna have to figure out a way of transferring the runes onto a new haft, but if you can just do that, that's great.
As she finishes, it's a bit shorter. It's probably more like a sickle now, if a very weirdly shaped sickle. It should function as intended now. As she hands it back over. Not much use to me, I'm afraid.
Oh, thanks.
As
I don't
you
know what I want with it.
write in, as it has been repaired.
Cool.
Fuck that spell.
Not to sound rude or anything, but if you coming to temple with us, what can you do? What are you good at?
Well, I'm a priestess by trade, so I can heal.
Immediately
I can
points
talk
at
to
Ash with the
plants.
many cuts the sheet it still has.
If you wish, I could. I see that you're slightly scuffed for now. I could take care of that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
We got bit beaten up with things in Vault. Flamey skeleton dude.
Yeah.
Flamey skeleton dude.
There
Yes,
was a
Paladin, I think he was?
Yes, he was a paladin, a mighty holy warrior who was defending the aristocracy against the horrors that were coming into the city.
Oh, that would
Yes.
be Brachus.
Oh, it's good. Good as a name. I needed that, actually.
well, not to put a damper on things, but he tended to be on fire, skeletal, and very angry.
Yes, it is unfortunate.
It's thankfully no surprise to me, at least. I expected. Well,
He has been given a mercy, though.
I'm
The
glad
mercy
to
he
hear it.
cannot show himself.
But she'll go around while you're talking, give you a tap. Just assume that you're filled to heal. Healed to full.
All of us?
Cool.
Yes.
We